What's up, guys? It is your boy ShiShi back with another super long overdue episode of ShiShi Meditations. I started this series of videos last year as a way to get my thoughts out to you guys and to the world, because I tend to think about very deep topics, and this is just a creative outlet for me to get those thoughts out. And to be honest, I just stopped because I got lazy, I got focused on music, I started a new job last year, there's just a lot going on. And so I wasn't able to maintain the consistency with these videos that I wanted to. But that was last year, and now it's 2019, and it's a whole different ball game. And I'm going to be coming at you guys live. Well, not live, because I'm recording this in the past, and you're seeing it in the future. But I'm going to be coming at you guys every week with a brand new video of ShiShi Meditations, talking about everything from spirituality to meditation to creativity. Really just whatever's on my mind for that week. So you guys can expect a lot more videos from me like this, and this is the first one for 2019. And today's topic that I want to talk about, I think, is very fitting to start off the New Year's with, and that is the idea of creative manifestation in your life. Now, if you guys are like me, you know, I tend to be a pretty open guy when it comes to spiritual topics and really just trying to be open-minded to things that maybe we can't understand, you know, or things that science hasn't necessarily got an answer for, but seem like they're right. You guys that know me know that I'm really into meditation and spirituality, and a lot of the things that have sort of shaped me as a person and the guiding principles of my life are concepts and topics that aren't necessarily like super easily proven by science. So I'm by no means somebody that just writes something off because it can't be proven. But that being said, you know, I am still skeptical. I think I'm healthily cynical about things. And, you know, when I first heard about this idea of the law of attraction, it was actually from this movie called The Secret that is on Netflix if you guys want to check it out. But it's basically the idea that if you think something every day and you positively believe that it's true and that it's coming your way, and you really have a strong intention to manifest that into your world, then the universe, or whatever it might be, is going to basically help to make that a reality in your life. So, you know, at first glance, that's like a really interesting concept, and you know, people that are maybe more cynical or skeptical might hear about that kind of a concept and say, that's bullshit. Like, how could you just think something and then it's going to happen? And, you know, that was kind of my first impression, especially when I saw the movie, because, I mean, the movie's cool, but it's like a little cheesy in my opinion, and I just wasn't really sure if I necessarily believed that. But, you know, as I experimented with setting my intentions and, you know, trying to make different things happen and setting goals and working towards them, I started to see results and just synchronicities showing up in my life, whether it was the right person showing up at the right time, or, you know, somebody hearing my music that was really important for that person to hear it. And I started realizing that actually, like, most of the things that I'm thinking about, whether they're positive or negative, and most of the things that I'm feeling and believing and setting a strong intention for in the present moment, end up manifesting themselves to some degree or the other in my actual physical life. So a really great example of this is, you know, at the beginning of last year, I started the year with a goal to get 5 million streams on Spotify. And at the time, that seemed really, really out of reach, because at that point I had, like, you know, less than, like, I don't know, I had like a couple thousand streams on Spotify. So, you know, that was a huge jump. And all I knew was that I was going to be putting out at least one song per month, and I was going to work as hard as I could to get it out to the right people and, you know, get it to playlists and pitch it to the right people. But, you know, when I set that goal, it was more of just like, all right, you know what, like, might as well just aim big. I'm going to set this goal, and I'm just going to kind of almost put it to the side and just, like, keep doing what I'm doing and keep working hard. And funnily enough, a couple weeks after I set that intention, I found out that my song Arthi had got put onto one of Spotify's biggest playlists, which is the Chill Tracks playlist. It has, like, I think it's got like a couple million listeners or monthly listeners, or a couple million people that are following the playlist. And I woke up and I actually got a text message from my friend, and he was saying, hey, like he sent me a screenshot of my song on the playlist, and he was like, hey, isn't this your song? And I was just shocked. I was like, what is going on? I mean, up until this point, I had been on Spotify as like an artist for, 2 years. And in that time, I had amassed a grand total of like maybe like 2,000 or 3,000 streams. So I went into my, Spotify for Artists dashboard where you could see like all your statistics. And I saw that my song Arthi, after having been put on that playlist a couple of days ago, it had already gotten like 100,000 streams. And I was just like, what is going on? Like, this is so crazy. Like, how did Spotify find out about my song? There's like thousands of, probably millions of artists, thousands of artists every day for sure, and millions of artists every year that are putting out new music. And how did my song randomly not only get through to the right people, but also, they obviously liked it enough to put it on the playlist. And I was just like shocked. I had like no explanation for this because I didn't have any connections to Spotify. I didn't like know the curators or anything like that. And then, a couple weeks after that, I found out that my brother-in-law, who's a dentist, he is always playing Spotify in his office for his patients. And he had apparently been playing my song Arthi in his office. And one of his patients was engaged to one of the Spotify editors, and so she was like sitting in the waiting room of the office and really liked the song and was like, who is this? And he was like, oh, this is actually my brother-in-law, like he makes music. And so, long story short, that's how this really big curator at Spotify found out about this song, and he ended up putting it on a bunch of playlists because his fiance just so happened to be in my brother-in-law's office at the right time while he was playing that song, and happened to be engaged to this guy who works at Spotify and happened to like the song. So like the amount of things that needed to line up, like just synchronicity wise, for that to happen is crazy. And I'm not saying that this happened only because I like set this goal and I made this intention of, I need to get 5 million streams. But, now that we're in 2019, I actually did accomplish that goal. I got over 5 million streams on Spotify, like right around the end of December. And since Arthi got playlists, a bunch of my other songs also got playlists on Spotify. And now I actually sort of have a relationship with some curators at Spotify, and things are looking really good. So, that was a crazy situation. And I don't know if it necessarily proved to me that, the law of attraction or whatever, which is basically like if you believe something strongly enough, it'll work. I don't know if it necessarily totally proved that to me, but what it did prove to me is that there's a value in setting your intentions and really strongly believing in them. Because for one, whether or not the metaphysical part of it about the universe rewards your intentions is true or not, I honestly don't even really care whether or not that's true, but the value that I get from it is when I set the really strong intention, my actions tend to follow that intention more. So it makes me work harder in moments where I feel like I am tempted to be lazy or, unproductive or slack off. I can just remind myself of like, oh wait, why am I really doing this? Like, why do I need to do this thing right now that maybe I don't feel like doing? It's because I have this longer term vision and this longer term goal that's driving me and allowing me to, work hard instead of just constantly living in the short term and looking for instant gratification. And so, so I really believe that positive creative manifestation is super helpful. One, for the reason that I just said, which is, helping you to be more directed and focused in the actions that you take. Number two is because if you have a really strong goal that's super clear and super specific, then it really helps you weed out a lot of activities that aren't serving you. So, for example, if your goal is to, get down to like a 6-pack, if your goal is to get a 6-pack, then you're going to basically tailor your entire workout to that goal. So there might be certain other things that other people might do that maybe wouldn't be good for you to do because they don't necessarily completely align with that goal of getting a 6-pack. Not to mention, it's going to be a lot easier for you to resist temptations or unhealthy foods because you have this longer term vision driving you. And the final reason that I think positive creative manifestation is really, really amazing, and this is potentially the most important reason, is because it just makes you feel more empowered, and it makes you feel better and gives you the inspiration and the good vibes and confidence to navigate through the inevitable struggles and, both internal struggles and external struggles that you're going to go to on your journey to the goal that you're trying to get to. So that's something that I found in my life is when I really have a clear goal of what I'm driving towards, even if I have a rough day, even if something doesn't go well, I'm allowed and I'm able to bounce back a lot quicker because I have this overarching mission driving me. Whereas, if I didn't have like a clear goal of where I was going to, it would be a lot easier to just get thrown left and right by life, basically, because, life is can be really shitty sometimes and stuff is out of your control and you don't always know exactly what's going to happen. So I'll leave you guys with this message. And this is something that I heard actually on the Charlie Rocket Show, which is a really dope podcast that you guys should check out. I'll put the link to it in my description below. But basically, Charlie Rocket is this super inspirational guy who essentially talks about how, he started 2018 hundreds of pounds overweight. He had a brain tumor that he was diagnosed with, and he really just his life was kind of in the gutter. And he ended the year having lost over 100 pounds. He had run an Ironman marathon. He had switched to a vegan diet. He had reversed his brain tumor. So super inspirational dude, really, really inspiring guy. And he had this motto that I heard in his podcast that I really, really love that I want to share with you guys. And he said, whatever your goal is, instead of treating it like your goal is some distant thing over there and it's something that you need to go out and reach and get, treat it like it's already happened and time just hasn't caught up yet. Now, I'm going to say that again. Treat your goal like it's already done. The universe has already taken care of it. Time just hasn't caught up yet. I think that's the dopest thing ever. I mean, I heard that and I was just like, damn, this is inspiring as hell. Imagine how differently you would act. Imagine how you would carry yourself differently if all of your dreams just came true right now. Imagine you woke up tomorrow and everything that you are striving towards, everything that you're struggling and hustling so hard to get to had already happened. How would you carry yourself differently? How would you be more confident with yourself and around other people? Would you be more at ease? What bigger and brighter goals would you set after that? And I think if we can almost trick our brains into the delusion that our goals have already been achieved and carry ourselves as if it's already taken care of, then by that, we're going to become the kind of person that we need to be to get to those goals in the first place. And I think that's a really, really important insight. And it's almost kind of playing a little reverse psychology on yourself. But, for the people who might hear that and say, yeah, but aren't you just lying to yourself and aren't you just being delusional? Yeah, you could argue that, but let me hit you back with this. When are we not lying to ourselves? Pretty much every belief we have is at some level a delusion. It's at some level some sort of belief that we've created to keep us safe or protected, whether it's evolutionary reasons or emotional reasons or whatever it is. So if all of our beliefs are just constructs of the mind anyway, then we might as well pick beliefs that are empowering. We might as well already believe that everything we want is already on its way and act like the people that have already achieved it. And I guarantee you, if you can do that and consistently do it, you'll be on your way to your goals a lot quicker and it'll be a much more enjoyable process. So that was the first ShiShi Meditations of 2019. I'm super stoked. I probably rambled a little bit, and that's just because I'm a little bit out of practice in terms of talking on camera. But my main goal for this is not only to share my ideas with you guys, but also to be as authentic as possible. So you guys are going to notice with this series that it's never going to be edited. I'm not chopping clips together in that really kind of YouTube-y style of you say 2 words and then it goes and you say another 2 words. I just want it to be one take. I want you guys to get me as I am, whether I stutter or mess up or whatever, or lose my train of thought. So, I have faith that these videos will continue to get better because this is something I love to do. And I'm already acting like I got 1 million subscribers on this channel. So even though it's 500 or whatever right now, I'm going to take my own advice that I gave to you guys and gave to myself and act as though, it's already done. So I want you guys to take that into your own life. Let me know what you think about this topic in the comments below, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.